All right, everyone, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're at today. Today, we are in Seattle, Washington, and we're at Hugo House, all right? Now, Hugo House is a home to so many writers come through here, but what is special today, we're having the Poet Speaks workshop. Now, the Poet Speaks workshop, it's a workshop I started myself. Now, for me, I didn't know how to read till I was about 7 years old, and I couldn't speak until I was about 4. And for me, what really made a big difference in my life was poetry. Reading poetry, creating poetry, listening to poetry, going to sleep to poetry, doesn't matter. Poetry really changed my life. Now, I made the Poet Speaks workshop because I want people to be able to tell their own narrative, just like I have through my own poetry. Now, specifically what I do with the Poet Speaks, we look at African spirituality, we look at African literacy, and we look at African oral traditions, all right? Over 5,000 languages, 700 are spoken in Nigeria. Igbo in itself, there's a billion, not a billion, but there's so many ways in which to speak it. Now, that's such a big topic, but what makes it really, really amazing is being Nigerian American, I really look into Nigerian oral traditions, more specifically, Igbo oral traditions. And really the workshop, we do everything from a history lesson of what Nigerian and Igbo oral traditions is, as well as some many West African and other African oral traditions. So you get to learn a little bit about everything. Oral traditions in West Africa, oral traditions all over Africa. In addition, you get to write your own poetry and you get to perform it.
It seems sad to attempt to leap across the canyon, but see, I've got wings like beacons, the wind like hands beneath me, guiding me, leading me onwards and upwards.
If you replace me, who else will give you a dissertation on how the Star Wars prequels are literally modern Shakespeare?
Now, what do you bring to the workshops? What you really need to bring, a pencil, paper, laptop, whatever which way for you to write down your poetry. So anything, any unit, any type of tool to write. And really after that, bring yourself. Bring yourself to the space, bring your best self. There's really an engaging experience where we really take out a lot of what we feel, what we think inside, and really put it into our own narrative so you too can have the poet speak inside of you. Now, when you enter into the Poet Speaks workshop, I want you to come in with an open mind. Maybe you've never written before. Maybe you have written before. Maybe you're a pro writer. Maybe you're an author of many, many poetry chapbooks. However, what I want you to come into is realize this is a place to tell your own narrative. When people walk in, you may not have any idea about African literature. You may not have any idea about what oral traditions even mean. One of the biggest things that we teach in this workshop is how to really create your own narrative. How do you really tell your story? One of the opening things that we do is, what is your name? Think about it. Our names carry everything with us. Just think about it. What does your name mean? And come back to me, okay? 1 minute. Where does your name come from? What does your name mean? What does your name mean to you? That way we can really teach people how to write their own narrative. It is so important that we keep our oral traditions alive. Now, many people may not know about ancient indigenous oral traditions, specifically African or Nigerian and Igbo oral traditions. But that's precisely why we have to keep doing this. We have to keep our voices alive, past to present to future. Oral traditions are what have carried us throughout life. Oral traditions are anywhere from the air we breathe. The poetry is in the air. It's everywhere that we look. Our songs, our music, it's in everything. So it's so important that we understand these things. The stories of our lives are written everywhere through words, through spoken word poetry.